back later. If we've not met before, my name's James Manwaring. I am the Director of Music for Windsor Learning Partnership. So there are 6 schools across Windsor that I work with as a kind of professionally, I guess, but I work with all of the schools at various times during the year. It's a job I've been doing for over 20 years. And I love very much. I'm very passionate about, and I guess what I love about it is just working with young people day in day out, in the classroom, but also at events that I've put on, and just getting to see young people flourish on a stage, in a classroom, all that kind of thing. It's just brilliant and wonderful. And my job is so varied and different almost every day, every week, every month. But yeah, being in Windsor and the community that we're in, there's also common things that happen every year. And I was talking to somebody the other day about this and saying, actually, like my years are always the same in one sense. And you get new term starts, and you've got to get kids involved in stuff, and you have concerts, and then you get to Christmas, and then you get to exams, and then you get to summer shows. But actually, whilst it's the same every year, there's different kids, there's different music, there's different needs. You get some seasons where you've got more rock bands, for example, in schools, or you get some where you've got more in the choir, and you're doing different types of musicals. So there's always that kind of variety and that challenge every year, and of keeping that going. So that's kind of what I do in my job in schools. Outside of that, I run a community choir, a Glee Club UK Windsor it's called, and that we meet on a Tuesday. And that is a choir for anyone and everyone, adults mainly. So there's no auditions, no requirement to be able to sing. Most people when they come along, I say, have you sung before? And they suddenly get nervous, like I'm going to make them do an audition. But it's just a place for people to come along to and sing and meet people. And I've been doing that for 15 years in September. In September, which is crazy. And I started out with like 2 or 3 people every week, and it was quite hard building it up. And now we've got kind of over 100 members. Not that they've ever all come out exactly at the same time. So we normally have between like 70 to 90 every week, and we do concerts and events, raise money for charity, all that kind of stuff. And so that's really, really good fun. And then more widely, I'm the president of Music Teachers Association, which is a national association that represents music teachers. And that's a new role I took on in May. So that sees me kind of speaking at events, working with schools, working with teachers, supporting music teachers. So the other day someone emailed me and said, can you help me with this? So I gave them a phone call, it wasn't very long, but actually I was able to just help someone who I've never met, who works in the north of England somewhere. So that's really, really good fun as well. And alongside that, I just anything Windsor based that I can support, whether it be, Christmas, taking kids out and playing at the hospice, Thames Hospice do a big carol service over at Wellington College. We do that every year, supporting the Living Advent calendar, which is really good fun. And then just generally throughout the year, just events pop up in Windsor. We obviously were quite lucky with the Platinum Jubilee and the coronation to be involved in that. And so Windsor's quite a good place to work for
the castle on the hill. So
Yeah.
what got you here? I mean, you're an amazing chap. I mean, I totally appreciate how hard you work. Or I don't think I do. I mean, I work hard, but you work super hard. But what got you? Where did it all start? Was it a parent thing or what?
No. So I went to Windsor Boys' School as a student. So left there in 2001 or whatever it was, and then basically started working there as a kind of musician in residence, doing projects just to try and improve music. Because the boys' school has always had arts going on, but it was more of a rugby, football, hockey, sporty, academic establishment really. I didn't do loads of music when I was there, I did a little bit. And so I was kind of given this opportunity to try just to do stuff really, try some projects out. Then I trained there, then I got a job there, and for basically the last 20 years, my mission has been to make music accessible to as many students as possible, not just ones that are musical, which is, a funny phrase. It's just everyone. And going back to what I was saying earlier about one of the challenges or one of the parts of the job that's good is every year you've got to do something new. I guess it's hard to stop. So once I've started, I'm already thinking about, September I'm going to get new kids, and then the next year you're going to get new, and so you've got that. It just kind of keeps you going, and you've got that kind of drive, as well as, when you get students come to you in year 9 and you get to watch them develop through to year 13 and then go off to university, especially if they've never played an instrument, never done anything before, that kind of is, so gives you such drive. So I guess how I've got to where I've got to is hard work. I do work hard, but that's my own fault. I kind of just choose to do that, I guess. But like just consistently doing stuff and being committed to saying, actually, this is the standard we want. This is the opportunities, and never stopping that. You can't really have a month off. You can't say, well, actually, we won't do any music now. You can't. It doesn't work like that. Even during COVID, which was obviously the hardest time for all of us, I was doing things online and I was doing virtual stuff, and not just the virtual lessons, but trying to get performances out there. So as soon as I could get students into school, we had them coming in and doing socially distanced stuff. We did socially distanced videos for carol services and shared those with people. So I think you just got to be kind of consistent. And also, I love it and I'm passionate about it.
You totally are. You totally are. And that's why, I mean, you just recently were lucky enough to land a bit of bling off His Majesty,
Yeah.
So you've got an MBE. But I remember I bumped into you in Tesco's the other day. You were buying burgers for a party for the kids that you were doing, you were organising. So
yes,
I hope somebody else cooked those bloody burgers.
Somebody did cook the burgers.
Good.
Well, that's
because I remember sending you an email at the start of the year saying, I hope this year you ask more people to help you out.
Yeah, I do. We've got this charity we started, the Friends of Windsor Music, which is a charity for Windsor Learning Partnership schools, I guess. But also it's to try and, it's for every child in Windsor. So that charity has been amazing because now we're getting money in, we're able to apply for grants and things, as well as having people that help and do things. So that event I was getting burgers for was just our kind of like community, friends and family barbecue. We had about 350 people come along.
Just 350 people.
And it was all free. It was like, come and have a burger, have a bouncy castle, let's just celebrate. So I think community is really important. I guess that's another thing that I've realised over the years. I'm not just an island working. I work with, there's so many people, yourself included, and then there's people up at the castle that you get to know. There's all the people in the community working in the town. There's other schools. There's people over at Eton College that I've worked with. There's, where we are now, the Swan. We've done events here.
Yeah,
so it's like I've learned over the years, and I guess it's because I've stayed in Windsor, I kind of know everyone that's in this world, and I know everyone who's also up for doing that. We're in a community pub that's won community awards. The brewery up the road, amazing venue where we've done loads of stuff. And so you kind of get to know people, and I think when you are kind of like me and passionate about doing things, you kind of like everyone attracts that, and it's quite nice. And I think that's the same with other colleagues that I've worked with in school. You not just music, but there's drama, there's sport, there's loads of teachers that are also up for stuff and passionate, and that's good. So you have to surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah, Jack was saying that as well, wasn't he? So you now almost like the MBE gives you the ability to, people can see that if you like, if you choose to add it to your name. I mean, you may choose not to. But then that sort of helps. It's a door opener, isn't it? So what would you like? Is there anything specifically you would like to achieve in the next few years that MBE can help you achieve?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I've only had it for a week, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what. And I will use it on certain. I've already used it on a couple of emails where I thought, oh, I need this person to get. You want people to know that you're not. I don't know who you are. It's such a funny thing because I'm just. I mean, I'm still
just
kind of. I'm still kind of in shock about the whole thing. So all I hope it does is bring positive attention to the work of teachers in general, not just music teachers, and the school, and also I guess help to open doors for students where I'm able to go ahead and say, hey, I'd like to do this, And actually, I guess my goal really is to be able to carry on doing what I'm doing. To carry on doing what I'm doing is quite hard. And it kind of grows a little bit every year, and people are always saying you need to do less and you need to do this, but it's not like there's a big team around me, so I have to kind of keep it going, otherwise it will dip. So I guess I hope that we can maybe raise enough money to get other people coming in, maybe doing work for the charity, so that we can do more. We can employ people to come in and run a choir or run an event rather than me trying to do everything. So I'd like to see that. I'd like to really see all the schools in Windsor on the same page musically. I mean, there's so many great things that go on, but some of it's just in isolation. And then I guess it's just also trying to change the landscape for music education nationally, and I do have that kind of national role, and hopefully I can do that a little bit and support music teachers. And it might be that it gets a foot in the door of government ears, or you know, some of the musical bodies that are around the country, because I guess you can bang on about what you do. People in Windsor know it's great, but I guess other people don't. So maybe having three letters after my name might help with that. But moreover, it's just nice for the kids. It's nice for the parents that have been on that journey. You know, I've seen parents last night that were kids I taught in my first class. You know, they're in their 30s now, these kids. And I think they were just really excited about it, because it's like, wow, you know, we've watched this over the years, and it's not just about me, it's about this thing that's happened in music, and this kind of, it used to be a handful of kids, and now it's 300 children a week are doing something musical, which is over 10% of the upper schools population. Yeah. So it's like, so who knows what it's going to, you know, what it means really, but it's nice recognition. It's nice. It's a positive thing for me as well, because I've been doing it a long time, and I don't always find it easy to keep going and motivate myself when you're like, oh, you know. So it's nice for that. It's nice for the school.
No, you've done brilliant, mate. Well done.
Well, yeah, no.
Well done.
So
keep pedaling.
Yeah,
keep doing what you're doing.
I'm not going anywhere, and you know, as I say, it just keeps happening. September comes around, and then you start again, and then it's quite exciting. And I mean, one thing I'll say just to finish is, like, I remember when my first really good group of musicians left the boys' school, all the parents were like, what are you going to do now? You know, what's going to happen next? I'm like, the next group will come along. And then I've always had that principle. It's like, yeah, they might look a bit different, and they might have different talents and skills, and even like the music that they listen to, but we will then work with that group and we'll see what happens. So, and I think that's quite exciting, that the opportunity to get a fresh group of kids in every year and go, right, what are we going to do with you lot? And then 5 years later you go, wow, look back. And so yeah, but thank you for all you do, and we'll watch this
keep
space.
pedaling.
See
well
what
done,
happens.
mate.
Yeah.
Well done. Cheers,
Cheers, thank you.
Cheers, James. There we go.
Cool.
It's a wrap. Well done.